Grace and peace and good morning, everybody. Praying all is well with all of you. Today is April the 8th, Saturday. We got a slightly gloomy day today, but all is well. I don't know what the heck I'm getting into today. Honestly, I might just be chilling at the house for majority of the day. You guys, I also want to update you on the book. I don't know if y'all bought it. It is in my Amazon. It is in my Amazon storefront labeled books. So this is the Welcome to Adulting. I just feel like this has good information in it. So I mean, anybody that's an adult, I'm pretty sure we're all adults here. It talks about navigating faith, friendship, finances, and the future. So I just feel like it has really good information in here in terms of how to juggle all of that, because life be life, and just trying to make sure we have a level head with everything. So I'm just all about a good read in terms of something that's very informational. I love my Colleen Hoovers, you know what I'm saying? Love those books, but I definitely need some actual real life information. If you guys are interested in that book, it will be linked down below. And also, you guys know when I went to New York for the Laura Mercier event, they sent me some stuff. And I think they only sent me the foundation. Supposed to be sending me a blush and a powder, but I'm not ungrateful. Amen. So they sent me another foundation. And again, currently I'm in the shade Suntan 4W1. So this, between this one and then the NARS foundation, these two are the only ones that really match me right now, even though I still be mixing in this other color that don't match. I just like that formula. So I'm still gonna have to shop around for another foundation that's really gonna do what it needs to do. But anyway, I just want to say good morning before we continue on with the vlog. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Jalen. I appreciate you coming by. Hopefully you will subscribe and stick around, period. I almost got stuck for a second, but I am in the kitchen and I'm getting ready to make me some coffee. But like I said, it is Tuesday and it's my dad's birthday, and I just got word from him that he's working today. One thing about my dad is he's going to work. He's gonna go to work. He doesn't care what's going on. He doesn't care. He's gonna go to work. Obviously, unless there's some tragedy or something, then of course. But his birthday don't even stop him from going to work. He's like, no, it's just my birthday. But yeah, I'm going to work. So here I am trying to like low-key do something for him for his birthday. I'm texting him. I'm like, okay, you know, what are you doing today? I'm working. Like, you can't be serious. Moving along. So yeah, I have a few things to do today. I have some stuff to edit. I have some stuff to film. So I'm going to tackle that today. Get that done, and then I want to do this first, but that's not priority. I have to do what is on the priority list first, because I have to organize my write-offs, and then I have to, and then send those to my tax preparer so I can finish those out. And then, yeah, I have some stuff to edit, and then I have some stuff to film. But what I want to do first is I want to go to my studio and I need to grab my ladder from my studio, because I've been trying to put my curtains up for days and they've just been sitting on the floor getting wrinkled. So I've been trying to get my ladder because I want to put them pretty high, but I can't reach up there. I even tried to use my bar stool chair. Absolutely not. So I need my ladder to get up there so I can drill the holes in the wall. But I'm gonna get my task. I'm gonna get the important things out of the way first. You guys, so I found this Keurig. Now, the only reason why I'm like, Jalen, don't even buy it is because I don't drink coffee like that anymore. And I told myself I was gonna like, not cut it out completely, but I just know how coffee makes me feel. Coffee like makes me sick now. I was like, I'm not even gonna do it. But I found this super cute coffee maker in Walmart yesterday. And it's a Keurig, but it's called the Keurig K Express. And it is so, okay, let me put it in a different color. I'm looking at the white one. But this is what it looks like. And I mean, for the most part, you guys, it's still pretty much like the same kind of pure egg, but it's small and it's different. And I think it's so cute, but I wanted the white one also yesterday. You guys, do not sleep on Walmart. Walmart has some nice like home decor. Hold on, I'm trying to wash my coffee mug that I bought from Walmart. But I bought some stuff from Walmart yesterday and it was really, really nice. I'm gonna show y'all what I got. I might make some tea instead. I need to go with my instinct. So I feel like coffee ain't gonna do nothing, make my stomach bounce around. But look how cute. Look how cute this is. So this is a coffee mug. I bought two. I just bought two of everything. So I haven't washed this one yet, but look at these cute little coffee mugs. Put this one in the sink. And then, I haven't washed these yet either, but look at these super cute bowls. So like, I love, oh, I'm ready to break them. I love like these, they're kind of like shallow bowls. So they're like plate bowls. I love them. Love them. Yeah, I had a very busy weekend that bled over into Monday. So I'm still low-key trying to recover. I'm low-key still trying to recover a little bit. Okay, so this is my silk almond creamer. Now, I'm just to a place, here we are, hear me out. I'm just to a place right now that I cannot decide for the life of me if this is what messes my stomach up or if it's just the coffee itself, because this is gluten-free, dairy-free. There's some other things that it's free of. There is some sugar in here. It's like 4 grams of sugar. It's an almond creamer, so in my mind, I'm like, okay, this might not be the issue. You know what I'm saying? It could just be the coffee itself, but I don't know. This needs some water. I know you guys seen it already, but this is not staying. This chair right here is not staying. This is just a dining chair I done had for like 2 years now. Didn't realize it was an actual dining chair until I looked it up. And I was trying to use this as a desk chair, and this is like too low for a desk chair. At least for me it is. So I still have it. I'll probably end up selling this on like Facebook Marketplace or something, because I legit don't need it. I don't need it for my office. I don't need it for down here. I really don't need it anywhere, so I might just sell it. But my dining room chair is on the way. I did choose. I put in my close friends just to get some help. So yeah, but this is my dining room table, and I'm obsessed with her, and I love her, and I think she's perfect for my little area. And then I ended up getting this like wall. I ended up getting this decor piece. Let me cut y'all down. I ended up getting this little decor piece, which I think is super beautiful. And this is, of course, Target. And then this is Home Goods. Now, I don't know if I'm going to keep this on the table, but I thought this bowl was super cute. And it just adds like this cute little like abstract vibe to the place. I actually have one on my coffee table as well. I bought some dog pads from Walmart over the weekend, and I bought an extra large. I don't know why. So now I just have these super big, obnoxious pee pads for Avery. But moving over here to my coffee table, so I changed the other brown bowl, and I put this one, and I kind of like this one better. I just kind of like this one better here. So I just put like my candle lighter, my electric candle lighter, and my remote in there, because we all know the remotes love to disappear. And then I got this right here. I just put this bowl here. I think this was a good fit for the bowl. I love that. Got my little Dirt Devil down there on and popping. I love this little thing. So yeah, so this is what it looks like right now. In terms of what I'm going to do for the walls, I have that picture here. So what I'm going to end up doing is probably putting that up here, putting them both on the wall. But I had two options, okay? I had two options. I thought about doing like a little mini gallery wall here, and then taking this picture, because I seen the comment, and putting both of them here, because y'all said if I do a picture here it needs to be bigger. I do agree. I even said it's not going to stay just because I'm being very impatient. So I already knew that picture was not going to stay. I was just trying to figure something out. Have you guys tried the Fenty melting makeup thing? I got this in PR, and this stuff is really good, actually. My go-to has been the Pharmacy Clearly Clean Cleansing Balm. The most recent makeup wipes that I've used, yeah, I've been using, like when I do use makeup wipes, I'll use these. And usually I'll use these on the go, because these are a little easier like with traveling and you're taking off your makeup. But also I bought this cushioned shower mat for my shower. I don't know how it's gonna work. or if it'll even fit like I am thinking it will. Oh, it should, yay, okay. Let me show you guys what I'm doing. So put it down like this. And honestly, I thought it was gonna be bigger. I thought it was gonna be bigger than that, but I got it so when I step into the shower, like the material that my shower is like, I feel like you'll know what I'm talking about if you were to see it, but it's kind of like easy to stain. Guys, I'm hyped because my rug is here, so let's unbox it. Avery, are you gonna stay there really? Oh, she is pretty. Another exciting thing, my office chairs are here now. So at some point after my meeting in another 35 minutes, which I have time. I don't want to rush it though. I want to unbox them and make like a whole video, so I'm not gonna rush it. I'm gonna just chill. Avery, good job. You pee-peed on your pee pad, boo. Grace and peace and good morning. It is the next day and you already know what time it is. We're getting ready to get into the word. A lot of you guys have been talking about doing more Bible studies and things like that, so I am totally down for that. So I wanted to just kind of like bring you guys into what I'm studying currently. And I'm still in 1 Samuel. I'm really taking my time through 1 Samuel because you saw my other vlog where I did my last Bible study. We were pretty much talking about Saul and Samuel and just that whole dynamic and how Saul pretty much fumbled the bag a little bit and how he really mishandled the assignment of God. And I was looking at some of the comments and I feel like a lot of us pulled pretty much the same message out of that text about, you know, really not, or making sure that we're not mishandling the assignment of God on our life and just making sure that we're really stepping into the things that he's called us to do. Even if we don't know specifically purpose, things specifically, we're just leaning into what God is telling us on an everyday to day basis as we continue to commune with God, as we continue to read his word, as we continue to pray, as we continue to do all of those things. So we just talked about how Saul fumbled the bag basically, and how he pretty much mishandled the assignment God gave him. That way God basically said, I regret making Saul king at that time. So what happened? He got replaced. He found somebody else. So now I'm at the point where David comes into the picture, and Samuel in chapter 16, Samuel anoints David, and now David comes in to kingship. And you know, David is described as a man after God's own heart, and the Bible even describes him as this beautiful, handsome man. He has beautiful eyes and has this beautiful, handsome appearance. And then chapter 17 we're pulled, and I'm just kind of like skimming through a little bit just for my own personal notes. Then I was reading chapter 17. This is where Goliath comes into the picture, and I know we all know about Goliath. Goliath was this 9'9" tall giant that was decked down with armor, like heavy armor, 15-pound sword, and all this stuff. He had armor that weighed 125 pounds. You know, imagine not somebody that's 9'9" pulling up to you ready to fight and says, you know what, I want the best one y'all have to come and fight me. Come fight me. If you win and he kills me, then we'll serve you, and vice versa. So David pulls up, and again, David's the youngest. So when I tell y'all, don't be counting out the young sibling. Like there's plenty of people that God has used that people from the natural eye have counted out of being worthy of doing X, Y, and Z. So again, we have David pulling up to the scene. He's equipped, he's ready, he's a man after God's own heart, and God knows that. So to make a long story short, he fights Goliath in chapter 17. And what was so funny about me reading chapter 17 when David fought Goliath is that If I'm honest with you guys, as much as I've read the word, I never really like dove into the story of David, which is why I was really excited to really read 1 Samuel. But reading the story of David and when he fought Goliath, it was so funny to me reading the actual fighting scene, because I never realized how quick, there's a word in that, I never realized how quick that fight was. It really wasn't even a fight, if you ask me. Because let me get scripture so y'all know what I'm saying. If you want to follow with me, please follow with me. I'm in 1 Samuel chapter 17. So let's backtrack a little bit. So again, the Bible describes Goliath as a champion from Gath. Okay, he was 9 feet 9 inches tall, wore a bronze helmet. I'm at verse number 4 right now. 9 feet tall, wore a bronze helmet, a bronze scale armor that weighed 125 pounds. There was bronze armor on his shins, and a bronze javelin was slung between his shoulders. His spear shaft was like a weaver's beam, and the iron point of his spear weighed 15 pounds. In addition, a shield bearer that was walking in front of him. So you have a 9-foot, you have a 9'9" giant pulling up to the scene to fight you. He has all of this armor on, and he has another soldier or whatever in front of him. So it's almost like a 2 against 1. It's really giving not a fair fight, but I digress. Imagine, and when I was reading it, I could just feel the spirit. That's really how the enemy is. The Bible describes the devil, he walks around like a roaring lion, which means he's all loud, he's all bark and no bite. It's giving, you're pulling up to the scene disguised as something that you're not. And what's really gonna happen, or what's really gonna prove if you are putting on that you are, it'll expose him. The light will expose that. So reading about Goliath and how he was pulling up to the scene with all this armor on, and you would think like, oh my gosh, like this is somebody that is, a champion. The Bible says Goliath was a warrior from a child. David just got here. It talks about that Goliath was a champion from a child. It's in one of these scriptures. I don't know where it's at yet, but I'll probably find it. That would scare anybody. In my opinion, that would kind of scare anybody, because it's like, well, dang, I'm coming to fight somebody, but I'm coming to fight somebody that has crazy amounts of experience. He's been doing this. The Bible calls him a champion. Anybody would be scared. So again, we're looking at all of the things that Goliath has, the armor, he has the bear in front of him, and then David pulls up. And David's like, you know what? I got it. I'll do it. Because it even says, verse 24, it says, when all the Israelite men saw Goliath, they retreated from him terrified. So even the Israelites was like, nah, bro, like you got it. There's no way. Oh, here it is. Verse 14. Yes, verse 14. It says, and David was the youngest. So again, David being the youngest of his siblings. Continuing, says the 3 oldest had followed Saul, but David kept going back and forth from Saul to tend his father's flock in Bethlehem. So that's what the Bible is talking about. It's like, okay, Goliath has been doing this since, he was a kid. And all David's been doing is been tending to his father's flock. But there's a word in that. Verse 24, when all the Israelite men saw Goliath, they retreated from him terrified. Verse 25, previously an Israelite man had declared, also I'm reading CSB version. It says, do you see this man who keeps coming out? He comes to defy Israel. The king will make the man who kills him very rich and will give him his daughter. The king will also make the family of that man's father exempt from paying taxes in Israel. Verse 26, David spoke to the men who were standing with him. What will be done to the man who kills the Philistine and removes this disgrace from Israel? Just who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? So David's pulling up like, who is this? Like, who is this that supposedly, you know what I'm saying, that's defying the armies of the living God? Like, who is this? Verse 27 says, the troops told him about the offer and concluding, that is what will be done to the man who kills him. Verse 28, David's older brother listened as he spoke to the men, and he became angry. He said, why did you come down here? Who did you leave those few sheep with in the wilderness? I know your arrogance and your evil heart. You came down to see the battle. So imagine, you know how people feel about their siblings, like the youngest sibling always nosy or just coming to be annoying. That's how I'm taking it. Like his oldest brother, Eliab, he looking like, why did you even come out here? Like, you just here to see something. Like, go back. Who did you lead a sheep with? Like, why did you lead a sheep? Go back there, do that. Like, what are you doing here? Again, counting out the youngest. Don't do that. Verse 29, it says, "What have I done now?" protested David. "It was just a question." Then he turned from those beside him to others in front of him and asked about the offer. The people gave him the same answer as before. What David said was overheard and reported to Saul, so he had David brought to him. David said to Saul, "Don't let anyone be discouraged by him. Your servant will go and fight this Philistine." So yet again, counting him out, but here goes David. He was like, you know what, I'll do it. Everybody else is running around scared. Everybody else is sitting around talking about it. I'll do it. But here we go. It says, verse 33, it says, "But Saul replied, 'You can't go fight this Philistine. You're just a youth, and he's been a warrior since he was young.' David answered to Saul, 'Your servant has been tending his father's sheep. Whenever a lion or a bear came and carried off a lamb from the flock, I went after it, struck it down, rescued the lamb from the mouth. If it reared up against me, I would grab it by its fur, strike it down, and kill it.'" So he over here fighting lions, tigers, and bears. So this is the thing. Serve where you're supposed to be. Serve where you're supposed to be serving, because you don't know the things that you're dealing with or the things that you're doing or being faced with is equipping you for something else that other people cannot do. So here they are counting out the youngest, but all they see is him tending to his father's flock. They're not out there with David doing that. So they don't know. It's not just watching them and feeding them and make sure they don't run out the gate. He out here, well, what if a bear or a lion pull up trying to take them? Well, I had to fight them off. So David was already getting equipped without nobody else really even knowing. Maybe he didn't even realize he was getting equipped for this. So David pulls up to the scene. He was like, I'll do it. I'll fight him. So moving on into getting towards the end of chapter 17. So this is what I was talking about earlier. Like the fight happens, right? So I'm going to skim down. I'm going to skip the other verses. Saul says, verse 37, "Then David said, 'The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine.' And Saul said to David, 'Go, and may the Lord be with you.'" Now I'm reading that as being kind of sarcastic, like, all right, go and let the Lord be, may the Lord be with you. All right, you better than me. But he gives him the blessing to go. Verse 38 says, "Then Saul had his own military clothes put on David. He put a bronze helmet on David's head and had him put in armor." Hold on though. David strapped his sword over the military clothes and tried to walk, but he could not use them. "I can't walk in these," David said to Saul. "I'm not used to them." So David took them off. Instead, he took his staff in his hand and chose 5 smooth stones from the wadi and put them in the pouch in his shepherd's bag. Then with his sling in his hand, he approached the Philistine. Pause. David, this goes to show when you try to mimic the enemy or when you try to mimic something that's coming up against you, like, be set apart, baby. Be set apart. Don't try to do what they do, because when you do, you mess up your own flow. So he tries to put on the armor like the Philistine did, Goliath. He tried to do that. And what did it say? He couldn't walk, so he took him off. It's getting good, y'all. I'm getting to the point, okay? I'm just trying to build y'all up to the point. Okay, verse 41, it says, "The Philistine came closer and closer to David with the shield bearer in front of him." So your enemy, 9'9", it's pulling up with all this 125-pound armor on, the 15-pound sword strapped to your back, whatever it is. But you're not that he was hiding, but you have somebody going in front of you. This is what I'm saying. Let's continue because I'm getting ahead of myself. Verse 42, it says, when Goliath looked and saw David, he despised him because he was just a youth. He was just a youth, healthy and handsome. See, you don't know what's going on up here. When people see you, people get intimidated by what you carry. When you are really in the will of God, when you are really living a life surrendered to Jesus Christ, people get intimidated by what you have. Ooh, stick with God. Let's continue. Verse 43, he says, "He said to David, 'Am I a dog that you come against me with sticks?'" Then he cursed David by his gods. "Come here," the Philistine called to David, "and I'll give your flesh to the birds of the sky and the wild beasts." So here he go, throwing out, like, again, all bark. He's all bark. He's approaching David and he's saying all this stuff. Who are you? Like, you're coming up here with sticks. You don't even have anything. I'm getting ready to kill you. I'm going to feed your body to the birds and the beasts. Verse 45, David said to Goliath, "You come against me with a sword, spear, and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord of armies, the God of the ranks of Israel. You have defied him." Verse 46, "Today the Lord will hand you over to me. Today I will strike you down, remove your head, and give the corpse of the Philistine camp to the birds of the sky and the wild creatures of the earth. Then all the world will know that Israel has a God, and this whole assembly will know that it is not by sword or by spear that the Lord saves. For the battle is the Lord's. He will hand you over to us." Verse 47 is so powerful. Let's read that again. And this whole assembly will know that it is not by sword or by spear that the Lord saves. Put a pin in that right there, okay? I want to touch on something else too. So verse 46, David says, today the Lord will hand you over to me. This is the type of confidence, my Lord, this is the type of confidence we need to have when we approach a situation, when we approach the enemy in whatever form it comes in. We need to approach it with that type of mentality. You don't know who I serve. You don't know who I serve. I already know how this going to end. I'm going to end in victory because the battle is already won. What did David say? For the battle is the Lord. Verse 47, and this whole assembly will know that it is not by sword or by spear that the Lord saves, for the battle is the Lord. Let's keep going. I'm almost done, I promise. This is so good. Verse 48, it says, when the Philistine, when Goliath started forward to attack him, David ran quickly to the battle line to meet the Philistine. David put his hand in the bag, took out a stone, slung it, and hit the Philistine on his forehead. The stone sank into his forehead, and he fell face down on the ground. Verse 50, David defeated Goliath with a sling and a stone. David overpowered him and killed him without having a sword. Verse 51, David ran and stood over him. He grabbed Goliath's sword, pulled it from his sheath, and used it to kill him. Then he cut off his head. When the Philistines saw that the hero was dead, they fled. 52, the men of Israel and Judah rallied, shouting their battle cry, and chased the Philistines to the entrance of the valley and to the gates of Ekron. And then the ending is basically David, verse 54, David took Goliath's head and brought it to Jerusalem, and he put Goliath's weapons in his own tent. When Saul had seen David going out to confront the Philistine, he asked Abner, the commander of the army, whose son is this? When it comes to so this is what I wanted to talk about. Thank you, Holy Spirit. So when we're talking about the battle, and this is what I was saying in the beginning, that I thought it was so funny actually reading the fighting scene of David and Goliath. I'm thinking it's ready to be like this long, drawn out, ching, 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 all this extra stuff. No. David didn't even have a sword. He took what did it say? He took 5 stones. He chose 5 smooth stones and put them in his pouch. He beat Goliath with a stone and a sling. So when I'm reading the fighting scene again, Goliath, why did you even bring all that stuff? You didn't even get a chance to use it. You didn't even get a chance to use it. But this is another example of God's ability and power and spirit, because back in, it might have been Exodus or something, but when the Israelites were fighting, it was one part, they were fighting, they might have been fighting the Ammonites or something, like they were fighting somebody, but it was to the point that they got trumpets. Who was that? Judges chapter 7 verse 21, it says, each Israelite took his position around the camp, and the entire Midianite army began to run, and they cried out as they fled. When Gideon's men blew their 300 trumpets, the Lord caused the men in the whole army to turn on each other with the swords, and they fled. So my whole point, even trying to find that example as well, is that this is just a repeat of God's grace and mercy, and how he shows up for us in ways that we sometimes just need to show up in preparation, because there is so much in the preparation that we don't even realize that's going to make a huge difference. One, it's going to show God how much you trust him, how much you love him, how much you're ready to go to battle, knowing that he's on your side, knowing that the outcome is going to be victory for you. It just goes to show, like, that's just what it is. So even in this, going all the way back to David fighting Goliath, it set up the picture. Like, use your imagination when you read the Bible a little bit. Not even imagination, but just kind of have like a visual when you read sometimes. So in my mind, I'm reading that Goliath is 9 foot and he's doing all this. He's super tall. He's a giant. And got 120 something pounds worth of armor. And you got somebody in front of him. Now the bearer, I don't think they described him as being as tall, but I can only imagine him maybe being a little bit shorter than Goliath. So you got these 2 9-footers walking towards you with armor on. What do you think? Y'all, this is just good. I don't even have nothing else to say. At the end of the day, this is good. So God, we thank you, because the enemy does walk around like a roaring lion. He's all bark and no bite. So this is why we cannot give the enemy credit. We cannot give him any authority when it comes to our lives, because this is why it's so important. Like, if you end up sinning, repent and get right back, because it is the enemy's job to steal, kill, and destroy, and to deceive. And that's what he's gonna do. He always tries to start at the head. It's always an attack on the head. If you can attack the head, you got everything else. If you can attack the mind, you got the body. You have everything else. So when you can attack the mind, this is why it's so important to read. This is why it's so important to get your daily bread, and this is why it's so important to make sure you are taking care of your mental. This is why I have no problem talking about therapy and all the things, because make sure you are taking care of your mind. So thank you all for coming to today's Bible study. This is why it's so hard to like commit to doing Bible studies all the time, because I don't want to start something and stop it. But my biggest thing is when I feel led to share, that's when I'll share. So as of now, it'll just be like this until God says otherwise. This is so good. And this was just my recap. I already read this, but I love doing it this way because I do better with like talking out loud when I study. So I do this at home, like in my own Bible time. Like I have to, like, when I read something, I have to say it out loud. I have to talk to God as if we're having like a conversation. I have to just like tell him, like, clearly he already knows this, but like I have to tell him what I'm reading, because it helps me understand. And that's just how I have to study and in my personal time with the Lord. So it's like, this is so good. Also, I'll link my Bible that I use down below. This is the CSB She Reads Truth Bible. I love me a good Bible that's bendable. This was so good. So good. So when I tell you guys, read the word. That's all I can say. Start somewhere and just read. Just start reading. And when I tell you, for me, in my personal devotion, my personal reading with God, God told me to start at the beginning. So I started at Genesis, and I've just been reading all the way through. So until he tells me otherwise, that's how I've been reading the Bible right now. Like, obviously outside of other things he might bring me to, or tell me to read during, you know, some other time, or even in church. You know, obviously I'll read what the church is reading, but in my own personal study, I'm just reading it straight through from Genesis to Revelation. That's just what God has me on right now. And I thought that was kind of weird at first, but then I was listening to Tim Ross's podcast, and he was talking about how the Lord told him in his own personal devotion, the Lord told him to only read Proverbs for the entire year. And I was like, see, I thought I was crazy, because I felt like God was telling me to read Genesis to Revelation just like straight through. And I was like, no, like, I seen something on TikTok. I was like, oh, like, read this and this, and then go to this and this, and then read about Jesus, and then do this and that. And I was like, okay. But then it was like, no, like, I know I heard the Lord. The Lord told me to start at Genesis, start at the beginning, because that's how I am. I'll skip through, and that's how I've been reading the Bible for years. Like, I'll skip through, and nothing would really stick like that. But reading it this way, and this is how I know I heard the Lord, like, reading it like this, I have been enjoying reading the Word of God. The hunger for the Word has been great. And I've just been able to articulate. I've been able to study. I've been able to share things and actually understand what I'm reading. And again, like I say, I talk out loud. So I've been able to tell God what I read so I can comprehend it. I've been able to have Bible studies with my sister and be able to explain things. And if she has a question, I'm able to, you know, explain it from the best of my knowledge or whatever the Lord gives me at that time, or be able to direct us both to finding the answer. So like, this is just rich to me. This is just rich. So I'm going to finish some work. It's 9:38. I have a tax appointment at 11, and then I have therapy a little bit after that. So I have a few things I want to do today. I have me like a little list, y'all. I have me a cute little list of things that I want to get done today. Let me find it. I downloaded, well, I still have my little digital planner, so I have to like kind of move some stuff to my digital planner. I think I'm gonna put up my office pictures, because last night I took a spontaneous trip to Home Depot and ended up finding these stair lights, which I posted here. I just kind of made like a little rinky-dink video because I wasn't sure how it was gonna come out, but I'm gonna have to go get me some alcohol and wipe the area down. That's what the directions say. I was just a little impatient and just wanted to go ahead and do it. But do what the directions say. Wipe your surface down with alcohol, because again, that's gonna really dry out that surface. and allow the adhesive to really stick. I've ordered some alcohol and I'm gonna go pick that up, and then hopefully the adhesive will still stick, but if not, I have these smaller command strips that I can use, because I'll link the lights that I have, but they came with adhesive on the back already, but like 2 of them have already failed twice. So because of that, it probably has too much dust on it, because I didn't sweep or nothing. I just went in there and said peel, stick, and it's not sticking. So with that being said, make sure you guys wipe it down with some alcohol first. You guys, all right, hold on, because y'all can't see a thing. Well, y'all ain't gonna be able to see it now, but I added some stair lights. They're motion censored, but they're not gonna come on until it's dark out. But I got my curtains up. See, this is why I need this to be like on auto or something. But look, you guys, I gotta come from this angle. But look, I got my curtains up. I did it myself. Who am I? Who am I? Who am I? But I made sure to put it up pretty much to the top, like to the ceiling, just because the curtains are very long and I wanted to kind of elongate the space. And it's so pretty. And then I got me an olive tree. And I found this vase at Home Goods. I'm not sure if I love it. I don't like it right now because there's like nothing to fill in that gap. So I'm gonna have to buy like that fake grass stuff or whatever it's called. Like people put the paper in there and the grass and all that jazz. My dining room chairs are here, so I figured I would bring you guys on over here again. I have to make sure my exposure is not like OD, because the last time I filmed over here, it was super exposed. So I cleared out the space. I'm selling this. I'm gonna put this on Facebook Marketplace, so hopefully somebody will come and buy this joint. We got chairs. Gosh, I hope these chairs are what I want them to be. Oh, I think they are. Oh. Or is that the paper? No, that's the color of the chairs. Oh, they're beautiful, you guys. Okay. Let me pull one out. Yeah, I'm struggling. Okay, so this is one of them. Oh, and they're nice and white. Looks like all is well. All right, these are the legs for this one. In terms of how comfortable they are, obviously only time will tell. I have absolutely no idea. I ordered 4. It came in a set of 4, and it comes in 2 boxes. Disinfect them real quick. Disinfecting mist. It's a multi-spray. Make sure you guys spray on furniture that you might get from places. I'm just gonna do a light spray. This is very cute. I'm actually in love. Trying to make sure this is centered. I don't think it is. So let's slide. Up, you guys, I am back. Let me cut off this heater because last last time I recorded right here, I was doing Bible study and I had the heater on the entire time. And I am so sorry, you guys. It was making piles of noises while I was filming, and the whole time I was editing, I said, there is no way I can like re-record this. I mean, I could, but I don't want to. But I'm kind of, I'm in my office right now, and I'm just kind of organizing my campaign stuff, because I don't know if I showed you guys. Let me show you. Let's say, because I don't even know if I showed y'all. Okay, so I did put the bench back here as well. And I'm really happy I did, because I wanted something else right here. It was too naked. I was like, I need something. So I put the bench back right here, and I honestly did not want to get rid of it because I really like this bench. It gives kind of farmhouse, so I don't care. I like it. So the pictures are going to go up on the wall. I just haven't put them up yet. I'm just trying to do a million things and tend to this little fur ball. Let's let her have her moment. Y'all, my feet are ashy. So yeah, so right here is where I'm keeping like my PR packages or like campaigns. All of this right here are campaigns that I'm currently working on that I have to like unbox and get situated. There's another one over there. So I just have to like sort that stuff out. This little basket right here, I am kind of sort of, I guess, using as a trash can. It's not ideal because I mean, if it's something like this, it'll go through the little holes. Something like that I'm trying to keep off the ground so Avery don't get it. Luckily Avery don't grab a lot of stuff off the ground like that. And then like this is trash. So yeah, so I've been kind of using this as like my little trash thing or whatever. But and then here's my like little desk area. But so far, you guys, so far so good. There is this one thing that I want to buy, and I'm sitting here trying to like talk myself into buying it. Avery, stop! I'm sitting here trying to talk myself into buying it. Here it goes again. And I know I'll love it, and it will go in the living room, and it will just complete my living room. It will just complete it, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and get it. And it's only gonna charge me like 50% of it right now because it's on back order, but it says purchase now and will ship when it's available, estimated on back order until late April. But it is charging me a long distance in-home delivery for $329. That I'm not okay with, because I'm like, are you kidding me? I think I'm gonna go ahead and get it. It says this mirror, seamless in-home delivery. Let's see if they have any more. Let me go do some measurements really quick. I'll be right back. And peace and good morning, everybody. It is several days later, and the only reason why it's several days later and I'm recording this is because I filmed an outro to this vlog, and for the life of me, I cannot find it. I have like 5 or 6 memory cards, and I'm honest, I just don't even feel like trying to find it. Like, I was editing on my laptop and I found that clip, but I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna, because I was traveling. I was like, I'm not gonna download it to my laptop because I'm editing this vlog on my desktop. Y'all, now that I'm back home and I'm at my desktop editing this vlog, I cannot find that footage. So here we are. But anyway, I hope you guys like the home updates. I was trying to give you guys more of a completed home transformation situation with like these different rooms. But again, I'm just bringing you guys along the way. So it's more complete now than it was before. So I hope this was, you know, somewhat better than the last home update. But there are a few other things, especially with the dining room. There are just a few more things that I want to do. Obviously, I want to find me a beautiful fiddle leaf fig. There's one from Amazon that's artificial, and it's like $145, and I'm just kind of like, I don't know how I feel about paying that much for a fiddle. But those faux plants, they're a little expensive, just obviously because some of them look very, very, very realistic. Like the one I want looks very realistic. And I seen this lady on Instagram. She has like the 8-footer. Like, she has this huge house. So I don't need an 8-footer. I would probably get like a 6-footer or even a 7-footer. Probably like a 6-foot. Just because when I put it in the vase, the pot, or whatever I put it in, it'll get a little bit more height. So I'll probably do like a 6-foot. But outside of that, I'm just looking for, well, I think I found the plant. I'll probably end up getting it. I haven't mustered up the desire to get it yet. But outside of the fiddle, I definitely want some wall art. So I'm still trying to decide if I want to do like a little mini wall gallery or just get like a really big picture. Like they have some from Home Goods, but I'm trying not to have like that Home Goods go-to picture in there. So I'm trying to find like a really dope, very neutral, very minimal, but still a statement piece of artwork for that wall. But if I'm honest, no shade to Home Goods. I love Home Goods. They get my money. But there are some photos in there that go for like $70, $200 and some dollars, especially if you get the really big ones. No shade to the artists, but some of that stuff you can make at the crib. If you go to like a supply store or whatever and you buy the stuff, you know, like those textured wall pieces. I don't know, like they do like the little, it's like a little, I don't know. If I can find it, I'll post it. But some of that stuff you can literally make at home and it will cost you a fraction of the price. Like all you would have to do, especially like if I went to like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or some type of like craft store, you could go in there and find one of those really big canvases for a certain price and then go get the paint, go get the whatever the textured stuff is called and make it yourself. And you may be able to save a little money. With stuff like that, you're really just paying for the fact that someone else painted it. They're some type of artist and the convenience of it. But the type of canvas that I want is really big. It would not fit in my car. I already know it won't. Because I want to, if I do one picture, I want a really big picture. Good thing about it is though, Etsy has a lot of artists on there who sell their wall art. So I thought about going on there and finding me a really interesting wall piece. And then I would just have to find, you know, a frame to frame it. And that might help cut some costs there too. Because the one I seen in Home Goods that I wanted, I'll kid you not, I think it was like $150. And if I'm honest, I just don't, not no Home Goods artwork. I'm not paying that much for no Home Goods artwork. Like no, like just, I'm not. I would rather find like an actual working artist. Not saying the ones in Home Goods aren't working artists. Hear me out. But you guys know like on Etsy or like there are people on Instagram who make these canvases and make these pieces of art. They make like unique pieces. Like they only make one of a kind. Like I kind of want something like that. I don't know. I kind of want something like that. So I'm going to look into it and see and just go from there. I'm not going to stress about it right now just because I am at a place like decorating your home really does take time. And unless you just got it like that, do your thing, decorate your whole house in one sitting. I would do it if I had it like that, but there are other responsibilities and obligations. So I have to do things in sections. I have to kind of go room by room. So how I've been decorating my home, the rooms that I spend the most time in right now are the ones I have focused on. So it's been my office, and now that my office is pretty much done, now, you know, the living room and dining room is pretty much done. So now my main focus is going to be my bedroom. My bedroom is pretty much done. The only thing is I just need some wall art in there. That's my home update right now. So as time goes on, of course, I'll update you guys until it's completely done. But my biggest thing, and because there is one more thing that I did buy. I don't know if you guys caught it, but there is one more thing that I did buy. And that won't be here until the end of the month. So it's the 17th right now. Time is really flying. So I'm pretty sure it'll be here within the next couple of weeks. So I'm super excited to show you guys what that is. Also, one more thing before I go. There are some other things I'm working on with the studio. I know you guys have been asking about studio updates, all the things. And there are a few updates that I do have. I'm not going to share them right now just because I'm working on one of those today. And it's a whole story and a whole thing behind it. And I kind of feel like I've been failing at it a little bit. But again, story for another day. But I have been praying on it. And God is just so faithful, man. I started praying. And I will be honest, and I know it might sound crazy when I say this, but I pray about a lot of things. But my studio, it's like I prayed so hard to get the studio. I got it. The story, I don't even know if I shared that with y'all, but the story behind how I even got the studio was just a testament of God's grace and favor and just all the things with him. So I got it. So I was hype about it. I was getting all the stuff for it. I got it furnished, all of that. Glory be to God. And then it just kind of fell to the wayside a little bit. So I do feel like I kind of failed a little bit in terms of what I was supposed to be doing in there, just because I got discouraged because nothing really happened, but something happened. And it was more so of me internally, of how I was feeling about it. So for me, I was like, you know what? I'm just kind of discouraged. I really don't have a game plan. I really don't know what I'm supposed to be doing with it. So I kind of just let it fall to the wayside a little bit. But so all that to say, I started praying again about it. And all of a sudden, God started showing me stuff. And kind of just threw some stuff into my lap in terms of what I needed to do.
bringing it full circle to this weekend when we went to DC. He had a photo shoot in the studio in DC, and it ended up being like a creative studio, literally like what I have, but this one was completed and done and on a website and all this stuff. And I was like, oh my goodness, like being in that studio just inspired me so much. I was like, it's another Black woman out here who does this, and it's beautiful and it's booked and busy. And I was like, okay, God, okay, like I got the answer I needed. So there are a few updates that I'm working on that is top priority this week outside of my other work. So I will be doing that, and I'm super excited to share with you guys of what those things are. But I'm gonna wait until some more things are solidified. But we randomly, and this is how I know God is working, we randomly took my host photo. My host photo is basically what will go on to the platform where my studio will be listed. So when people book, people can read about the host. They can read about me, what I do, who I am, whatever, just to kind of get them more familiar with who they're booking with. And y'all want to see it? It's so cute. Look, it's so cute. It's so professional. I love it so much. We just took it so randomly. Because obviously the shoot was for somebody else, but she was running a little bit behind for our photo shoot. So we was like, you know what, let's just test the lighting. Like, let's just play around. And I was like, wait a minute, my top is neutral white. My hair looks good. My makeup is done. Like, let's take my host photo since we're here. And it came out so good. So anyway, that's my studio update. Just bear with me. I have more information. Just give me a minute. I don't know if I showed you guys, but I did end up putting my pictures up here on the wall. Those are did I use the command strips? Oh, I didn't use the command strips for those. I was supposed to use command strips for these. Anyway, got those up on the wall. Those are beautiful. Love these. Those are from Home Goods as well. These were like $50 a piece. So this is what I'm saying. Like, it's simple artwork like this that'll cost a little bit, but it's definitely the convenience piece that you're kind of paying for, and the fact that someone else, like, this is someone else's work. So I totally respect it. I totally get it. But this book right here, Welcome to Adulting, I was telling you guys in the beginning of this vlog, there is a link down below if you want to support the Amazon link. Again, it does not affect you as a customer, but it does help me out in terms of doing things like this. But this is the book I'm currently reading. I haven't gotten too far in it, but God put it on my heart to ask you guys, would you guys be interested in doing like a book club situation with me, like a read along with me? And this would be like the first of many, you know? We could do the word. I'm not committing to it until the Lord says so, but I think this will be a good start. But there is a platform that I have been dying to use, and what it is, it will allow us to communicate in a more intimate setting, and outside of these other platforms like YouTube and Instagram and trying to comment and be in the DMs and stuff. This will allow us all, like, you guys could talk to each other, you could talk to me, and this will be our focus, our book choice of the month or the week or whatever we're reading at that time. That will be our focus and topic of conversation. I thought this one would be perfect because this talks about several different topics all in one: navigating faith, friendship, finances, and the future. This is coming from a spiritual, believing in Jesus, Bible perspective. We love that. And it gives scripture, it gives biblical context with things. So I thought this would be a great read that we could do together. And as I was reading chapter 2 today, I was skimming through, I don't know where it's at. It might have been chapter 2. I was kind of skimming through it, but I did see something that says, don't read this book alone. And when I read that, it clicked. I said, wait a minute, maybe I need to be reading it with my people. So if you are interested, give me your feedback down below. By the time this vlog goes out, that poll will be gone. But if you were able to vote, thank you so much for voting. But again, even if it's just a few of us in this platform talking, I'm cool with that. I just kind of want to make that available to you guys, and we kind of do it together. So yeah, let me know if y'all get the book. Also, someone did DM me and say that that this is available for free if you have Kindle Unlimited or something like that. I don't have Kindle, so I wasn't aware of that, but I did want to make that aware to you guys because someone did DM me and say that it is free if you have Kindle. So don't worry about buying it if you have Kindle already. But if you don't, it is available on Amazon and like Barnes & Noble and all that stuff. I bought mine from Barnes & Noble, but it is available on Amazon if you don't have a Barnes & Noble near you. But anyway, I'm rambling. I love you guys so much. So as always, if you're new, I'm Jay. If you're not new, I thank you so much for supporting me with whatever I do here with my channel. I love each and every one of you to no end. And of course, until next time, God willing, I will see you out in my next video. Bye.